Good morning, students. Hope that you all are fine. In the last class, we have studied the topic rocks from the unit number 1 of your book SST. You saw rocks, minerals, and soil. Rocks, minerals, and soil, in which we have studied about rocks and the different types of rocks. Now, the last topic regarding rocks in your book is the rock cycle. Rock cycle. In the rock cycle, we will explain you that rocks change its forms from one to another. For example, magma. Magma is the hot molten rock present inside the crust. At the cooling and crystallization, when it cools down, material of magma, when it cools down, it crystallizes and forms igneous rock. Igneous rock that are volcanic rocks. Due to the erosion, this one is the mechanism. Due to the erosion, the igneous rock break down into the sediments, the small particles. Sediments are the small eroded particles. When igneous rock due to erosion break down into the sediments, it converts into the sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks that are made up of small pieces of rocks, sediments and organic substances. Then you have studied form in the result of compaction and cementation. The sediments compacted and cemented and form the layers of the sedimentary rock. Then sedimentary rock at a certain heat and pressure converted or developed into the metamorphic rock that melt. After melting, this metamorphic rock develop or convert into the magma. Magma, that is the inner hotter part of the rock. This is how the rock cycle goes on and on. The rocks do not go anywhere or move from one place to another. It just changes its form from one to another. There are three different types of rocks: igneous rock, sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks. By this process, cooling and crystallization, erosion, sediment, compaction and cementation, heat and pressure, melting, these are the factors that convert the rock from one to another form. Now the next topic is soil. Soil. After the rocks, the soil is the next topic of the chapter. What is soil? Soil is made up of tiny bits of rocks, minerals, plant and animal materials, that mean organic substances. So soil is made up of different materials that may be rocks, minerals and the organic substances or the dead pieces or eroded particles of dead organic organisms like plants and animals. Soil is made up of different materials. There are different types of soil. There are 6 types of soil that are different on the basis of their size of their particles and the type of the particles. They have different spaces on which they have different texture. Types of soil. On the basis of different size and types of the particles, the soil is of 6 types. Number 1, clay. Clay has very small particles. It feels smooth, sticky when wet and shrinks when dried. When it dries, the particles shrink. That means the particles are small and having space for water to absorb water and to lose water. Number 2, silt. Silt, medium sized particles, feel silky. Number 3, sand. Sand has large particles. Particles do not stick together. Particles are small pieces of soil or sand that are large particles, do not stick together. They do not combine with each other. So they have spaces in them and they do not hold water for a long time. Chalk comes from chalk and limestone rock that are sedimentary rocks. Does not hold water easily. Chalk do not hold water easily or for the long time. Number 5, loam, clay, silt, sand and humus. These all particles are present in the loam. Loam soil is the most fertile soil and that is also used for agriculture purpose, for growing and cultivation plants. It is made up of clay particles, silt particles, sand particles and humus. Humus are the organic substances that is obtained from the dead organic organisms. Peat is the sixth type of soil that is dark brown in color and containing a lot of organic materials. Again, organic materials that come from the living organisms that are considered as organic materials. Soil horizon. Soil horizon or the soil profile is formed over million and thousand years. After thousands and millions of years, the soil layers of soils are formed and cover the previous soil. It is a natural phenomena that takes place due to the result of erosion. The wind blow away the soil and form many layers. For example, if you kept a book in the shelf for a long time and do not touch it, after a week, after a month, you see the layer of soil or dust over the book. This is how the layers of the soil are formed over thousands and millions of years, after millions and thousands of years. So these layers are known as soil horizon. When we dig down the ground, deep down, so we found the different colors and type of soil. These are known as these layers and these horizon are known as soil profile or soil horizon. For example, it is the grass. Under the grass, we have a layer that is known as O. O is based or made up of organic material. Organic material are those substances that are obtained from plant and animals. So, first layer that is close to the crust is consisting of organic material. The second layer of the soil profile or soil horizon is A. A consisting of minerals that dissolve in water that seeps through the soil. As we have studied in the limestone in the last lecture, that water when penetrates or seeps into the soil, it also contains minerals. So these minerals are present in this layer of soil horizon. That is denoted by A. A means that this layer is containing minerals. The third one is B. Deposited minerals. In the result of heat and sunlight, water evaporates or water stays in this layer, but the minerals penetrate deep down in the ground and they stay in the third layer, that is B. Beneath the B, the C layer is present where weathered rocks are present. Weathered rocks are the rocks that are break down into small pieces. Weathered rock that are break down into the small pieces. These areas you may see that they have cracks, not the small particles, but they have small cracks among it. The next one or the deepest layer is R. Solid rock that has not been weathered. This one is the solid rock that do not break down into pieces. It is the deep down and the strongest part of the soil horizon. So, the soil horizon is formed in the result of after million and thousands of years, it forms the layer, the soil profile or the soil horizon. The different layers of soil form over millions of years. These all layers are not formed suddenly, they are formed after many years. Minerals. The third main topic of the chapter, minerals. After soil and rocks that we have studied already. The minerals are made up of crystals and inorganic materials. Inorganic materials that are not obtained from the living organism, from animals and plants. So, minerals are made up of inorganic materials and crystals. Crystals have specific shape. The crystals may be of different shape. So, it depends that which mineral is having which sort of shape. The examples of minerals are quartz, mica, feldspar and chalk. So students, hope you will read the topic carefully and you have understand the lecture. So homework, you will get the questions from the portal and you will answer them. Do not write detailed answer, write a brief answer for each question. Your answer will not be differentiate from your book content. You may take help from the lecture to complete your answer and you may read your book to write down the answers. So do not write too long questions answers. Write a brief description about each question and update your index and mention the date as well. Keep learning, keep reading, stay safe, stay home. Allah Hafiz.